Hey, it's April from the Noble Garden. Today is May 29th, 2022, and this will be the first official garden tour of 2022. My goal is to give you guys a garden tour every Sunday at 2 p.m. Now, things do happen, weather happens, stuff happens, and if I feel like the garden's not had enough change to do it weekly, then I won't, but as long as I see enough, I will do it weekly, because that's the plan. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start on this first two rows that we planted together first. You'll notice that some of my spinach that I seeded did make it. My cucumber, this is the one that's growing the best so far. And then on this side just grows a little bit slower is what I've noticed. You'll see some flowers in the back that have popped up. I transplanted this little cucumber from the other side and it actually has lived. We'll see what it does more. And these are zucchinis. They are probably the best thing growing in this garden right now because they are huge and I should start seeing flowers soon. This side germinated way faster than the other side. Now I'm going to turn it to the other side and show you how the squashes are doing. You see how the squashes aren't doing as well? They're finally starting to come about and get bigger, like these two right here are the biggest squash, I think. I think there might be a bigger one down there. I did move some of them around, and squash don't really like to be transplanted. But they're bouncing back. And then there's two more zucchinis. Now, this brand of zucchini hasn't grown as fast as the other. Here is my, I cannot pronounce it, Kuzili, the resistant to borers that I'm trying. It's a gourd that can be eaten like a squash if you harvest young enough. You'll see some more sunflowers behind it. My flowers are coming about. The other thing I'm going to show you guys that I find interesting is, you see this right here? This is a broccoli. I transplanted broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, and some other stuff. Oh my gosh, like a few months ago, and they really look like they were going to die. And you'll see some kale behind there. There's some kale over there. And guys, out of nowhere, a few of these have popped up. There's some cauliflower down the bottom I didn't show you that's popped up. But this is just crazy to me. I don't know what they'll do because it's getting so hot, but we do like to harvest their leaves, well, these broccoli leaves, and eat them. And we do eat their flowers because they're edible. You're seeing some green beans in the back. So here's the squash that are doing better. These two squash. Then you see my green beans in the back. These are more cucumbers. This is the Armenian. I can't wait for it. It's more of a gourd technically if you let it grow long enough. But I harvest it young and use it as cucumbers. On this side are my onions, which they have gone crazy. They've gotten so big. And these are more cucumbers. There's a cilantro that made it. And this right here is my Kajari Melon, which on the other side has actually got new sprouts. You see how long it's sticking out? I need to teach it how to grow up the trellis. And then I'm going to go back down this aisle because I did not show you some stuff. So in the middle, there's my garlic. It's elephant garlic. It's looking decent. It's probably too hot for it, but I was going to give it a try anyways. And then behind that is all of, these are more my sweet peppers. That's habanada that you're looking at there. And then now we're going to go down the aisle. It's all bell peppers. There's different types of bell peppers. Looking good. As we get closer to the end here, I'll go back and flash it to the cauliflower that I was talking about. I'm going to flash it to the cauliflower. Smaller than the broccoli. But they're just popping up, living out of nowhere. And then you'll see more green beans in the back. Some of them didn't look so good, but they're starting to get new growth. So this bed right here was the corn that I planted with you guys. That corn did not germinate that well. I don't know if it wasn't hot enough, or I really don't know what the deal was. So I reseeded it, and they're popping up more. Things are looking better now. I know there's not much to see here, so we'll skip along. This right here is our potato bed. I planted our potato bed in the middle of March, and we got a deep freeze that killed back some of the leaves, and I read that they will make a comeback, and I'm happy to announce they've made a comeback. The next one is my asparagus bed. I'm very excited about the asparagus bed. At first, only 2 asparagus were popping up, and I was getting really nervous. Nora! And I was getting really, really nervous, and more just keep popping up. I swear every day I see a new spear. So I'm excited to watch this grow, and we might eat it next year. We might have to wait another year, but this bed right here is probably one of my most exciting things because I love asparagus. And the next bed, here's the okra. It's growing really slow. Okra really likes the hot, so I don't really expect much from it quite yet. But you can see them as babies. You see my okra babies? The next bed is corn. Now this corn was planted after, and it didn't take but a few days to pop up. My littlest one helped me planted it, and it didn't take no time for it to pop up. So, and then I turned around and replanted that other corn bed. So this corn bed is about a week or 2 ahead. No, it's not 2 weeks. It is a week ahead of the other bed now because we reseeded the other bed. We did throw an extra couple. This right here is squash. And then you guys planted my potatoes, my sweet potatoes with me. Look at them. They're now perked up and growing new leaves. This to me is exciting too. I keep telling you I'm excited about this, I'm excited about that. I love gardening, so I'm excited about everything. But I'm really excited about this too because I've never done it before. We did also on this end of this bed grow a couple extra zucchinis, so you'll see a few of those around. In the middle there is sunflowers. You see them popped up right there and right there. Some sunflowers. But yeah, these right here, those are extra zucchinis that me and my little one planted. This is my ground cherries, which ground cherries are something new for me as well. And if I can get up close enough, hopefully, you can see there's babies in there. See it? This one has a baby too. I think they all had babies, to be honest. Look, baby. Oh, sorry. There you go. There's babies. Rosemary. In case no one knows what that is. The next thing I'm going to show you is noodle beans. This right here is the regular green ones. They're called noodle beans. They're called asparagus beans. I think they're called Chinese long beans, something like that. They are more of a Chinese, or an Asian. I shouldn't say Chinese. They're more of an Asian thing. As I grow, I will talk more about how to eat them because we do like them. But on my other side, I just did the red one, which the red ones are new to us. And then on this side, right here are just some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They were the extra tomato plants from the other bed that I didn't have enough room for. So 2 of them is my red cherry, and 3 of them are my sweetie. So they're all 3 cherry tomatoes. Then you're going to see, these are more of the medium, like kind of spice peppers right here. The Anihams, the shishitos, stuff like that. However, I did run out of room, and I had to put my mini bells down there. See my mini bells? And then in this bed right here are more cucumbers. I'll show you this other side. They have a few more. These are munchers. I can't wait because munchers are pretty cool because they self-pollinate. They don't need help pollinating. One of these bell pepper or mini bell peppers down here have a baby on them. They have a few babies on them. Can you see it? They're kind of hard to see, but these right here, so here's your flower. And then this is what a fur, right there. This is what it looks like when it's been pollinated. Actually, here's a before stage. You see how it turns brown like that? Then you'll start seeing a pepper grow out of it. The next thing you're going to see are, this is honeydew. They're in early stages, just little babies. And then this is my Kajari Melon. This is the third year trying it. Fingers crossed. It never makes it very far. This right here is more cucumbers. Probably wondering, what am I going to do with all these cucumbers? I'm going to eat them and pickle them. We're going to try pickling. And this right here, this first little row right here are my Indeterminate tomatoes that I ran out of room for. These are San Marzeos. And then early girls. And let's see if I can show you this on camera. Right there is a baby mater. We're so excited about. There's a couple more baby maters I'll show you. And then we're going to start getting into my determinates. I don't know all their names just by looking at them right now. But they're looking good. This right here is like a little grape tomato plant. And let's see if I can show you their babies, because their babies are much bigger. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Right here, guys. Little babies. This is the row that I'm trying that Florida weave, which I need to come out here after this video and do another row of it, because as you can see, this one's big, and some of the other ones down there are big, and they need some more support. All right, guys. So this right here is my Carolina Gold. And I don't know if you can see that on camera. Let's see if I can fix it. Look, babies. It is so exciting to finally start seeing some babies. All right, here is my Determinate Bed. The first little bit are my canning tomatoes. And we're going to talk about this bed a little bit more as we get farther down. I'm just going to kind of show you guys and talk. So I like to experiment, try and figure out what to put in tomato holes to make tomatoes grow better. The row behind us that I just showed you had an egg underneath it. This hole right here had the Epsom salt, the worm castings, and an extra little bit of lime. But this is also the bed that has the fish underneath it. And I think it's very rich with nutrition from the study I did. Or the soil testing. I did another soil testing just to make sure. And I think I over-fertilized, guys. Because this little guy right here has been struggling. You'll notice his leaves look burnt. At first I was thinking maybe some type of disease, but I really do think it's over-fertilized, because look at the top of the plant. The top of the plant is now coming out nice and green with no issues. Flowers are popping up on it. It's having no issues now. It rained a lot here, and I read that washing, you just got to wash the extra nutrition out. So we'll just see what happens, guys. I'm going to go behind this bed. On this side, for a little bit, it still has my, I didn't tell you guys we were talking about chemicals and stuff, or nutrition and stuff. So the other side, part other than the canning tomatoes, are my slicers. So these are a few more of my slicers. They're looking good. As you can tell, they're getting really close to the fence, and some things are close to the fence I need to come and pin up. So here in a little bit, I think starting right here, are my cherry tomatoes. You are going to notice my cherry tomatoes are doing really good. I didn't put nothing under cherry tomatoes. This is just in the ground. There's no nutrition underneath it, extra, other than what was already there. and they look the best. So I think next year, especially, this is the only one that looks like it's struggling. But I think next year, I'm just going to use the soil. I don't think I'm going to add extra stuff if I use the same soil. The other thing that you're going to notice growing in my beds, and I know you've seen it, is mushrooms. If you have mushrooms growing in your garden, they are not bad. They're actually a sign of good soil. So, just proves my theory a little bit more that I really do think we had good soil. And of course, you always have, oh, look at that. There's a dragonfly, guys. So I learned a lot about dragonflies this year. They're really good in the garden. They eat a lot. They eat mosquitoes. That's their favorite thing. But I do read that they eat aphids and other smaller bugs. That's a baby dragonfly. There he is. You guys can see him. The other thing is I am pointing right at some baby cherry tomatoes too. All right, guys, let's move on from my excitement of seeing a dragonfly. The next bed, we did this together. This is my Cantaloupe Bed. And let me show you, they are popping up. You see that? Cantaloupe. So that's good that they're popping up. The next bed is my watermelon. And this stuff just germinates slower. Let me see. This is the only one I see germinated so far. I read that they could take up to 2 weeks to germinate. And this has only been in, I don't even think it's been in a week. So that's kind of what's going on in the garden. I did go a little shopping for my green stock, and I'll be putting my green stock together, and that video will be released on Thursday at 5. But as this year goes on, of course, there'll be more to show you. I hope you guys enjoyed this little update. I know you guys have planted a lot with me and really haven't shown you any progression videos. So I hope that this tour kind of shows you what's going on. And a few of my beds I've noticed have been just kind of progressing slowly. But I feel like as it gets hotter, the weeks that are hotter, I've noticed things are growing faster. The other thing I noticed is that if we get a lot of rain, things grow faster. So I'm wondering if I'm not watering enough. So maybe I can increase watering. It's just one of those things, like, you just got to figure it out. This is my first time growing here. This is my first time growing in the soil, this climate. So I'm just figuring it out. But I'm excited to see tomatoes growing, ground cherries growing, and I see peppers with flowers and making peppers. And I know that zucchini's coming soon. I can see little buds like it's about to flower. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Can't wait to show you next week's tour.